inch display, 1024 by 768. It's powered by the dual-core Snapdragon processor. Um, it's got the stereo audio powered by the Beats audio. So overall, between the display, the power pack processor, stereo audio, it's got a great uncompromising audio visual experience on a touchpad. It's running HP Web OS. So the couple of things about the Web OS is, one of them is the multitasking capability. So you can see visually brilliant. Each of these cards represents an activity, and I can move between my email and my browser and the other activities just by swiping back and forth, natural gestures. And then when I'm done, let's say I was done with my messaging, I can just swipe it away from my workspace. So this concept of having a giant workspace creates a really natural feel of working through various activities. Email application, a similar concept of really efficient use of the entire workspace. On the left are all the folders that I have, including my personal email, my work email. This can sync up to 16 Exchange accounts, IMAP, POP, so very wide compatibility. And then all my email is syncing all the time with my touchpad. I don't have to learn or go jump between applications or go different places to get my Google email versus getting my Exchange email. It all comes to me in a consistent user interface. A couple of things about this interface: extremely flexible. You can see all the folders on the left. This is the familiar folder view, and this is a full HTML inline email on the viewing pane on the right. But let's say this email is so rich that I really want to see it on the full screen. With just one tap of the button, I can customize the email to be full screen, or just with a gesture, I can zoom all the way out to back where I was. Now I can switch my folders, I can switch between personal and work email. I can also go into a really familiar view of the email that all of us are used to, which is my folder and my preview pane. Very powerful email client. You notice that I started to respond to that email, and it opened up its own card. I go back, I create a new email, it opens up another card. What that does is that it creates a really natural behavior on the email. Let's say I start an email, I'm not able to finish it, happens to us all the time. I'm not forced to save it into a drafts and go and try to find it later. I can just leave it here on my workspace, just the most natural thing to do. Go work on whatever I was going to work on, and then come back to exactly where I had left that email. So a very powerful, this is how we work with email on our desktops. No reason why you shouldn't be able to do that on the mobile devices like touchpad or even your phone. We have the same behavior on our phone. While I'm on the email, let me talk very quickly about the virtual keyboard. Two things about the virtual keyboard. Every OS has a virtual keyboard. On the Web OS, we let you resize the keyboard when you are in the keyboard. So meaning I can resize the keyboard depending on the context in which I'm using the keyboard. In this email, I want my keyboard to be large because I'm going to type fast. I want to type a long email. But imagine a web page where you're just trying to put in a username, password, or you're trying to put in a credit card number. You want to see more of the page and less of the keyboard, and you can customize it right then and there. The other concept in this keyboard is adding a number row. Really simple, but breeds familiarity. This is the keyboard we are used to in the physical keyboard world, and it really helps me type faster. In that typing, I did not have to change the context between my numbers and alphabets. I could just keep typing. So between the ability to have multiple emails open, jump back and forth between my folders, or jump all the way into a single email, and the intuitiveness of the keyboard, my email experience on a touchpad will be unparalleled to anything that we have today. One more thing about the cards, because all of these are independent cards, we stack them together and you move your entire email stack as one stack. But again, concept of flexibility, you and I don't work the same way. I like it. You say, hey, I want this email to have its own space on the desk space, and you can unstack the cards, or you can go stack it with the browser. Let's say, think of it again, real life scenario. You're working on a browser, you're working on a trip, this is your research or your hotels, and this is the email that you're going to use to send it to your friends. So this becomes my travel stack. Think of your physical desk space. You have papers, related activities are stacked together. You move them on your desk space together. My travel stack, my email stack. You can customize, you can organize, you can visualize your entire desk space with WebOS. The other concept which is extremely powerful, and kind of showed you, we glanced through that in the email application also. Once you have subscribed to the data sources here, for example, I have subscribed to Facebook and a couple of other web services for my photos. My local photos, my web services photos, all my digital photos are syncing all the time to my TouchPad. We call that synergy. And then once you've subscribed to it, you don't have to worry about going and jumping to different places, downloading them every day or syncing them every day. Your WebOS device will continue to do it for you. Since I have all my photos here, I can search all the albums, I can go through the albums. So really, again, really easy, natural gestures to search all my photos. And when I find the photograph that I'm looking for, I can, once I'm in this photograph, I can even have a Facebook conversation about this photograph, because this photograph came from Facebook. Why do we post photographs on the Facebook? To share it amongst friends and also have a conversation amongst friends. And this I can do right from here. I can also print a photograph, make it into a slideshow. All of the things that we think about doing with a digital photograph, I can do it from a Photos application. I don't have to leave it and go elsewhere. So really rich Photos application. The concept behind the WebOS again is it lets you work really naturally. So another concept I want to show you, which is very powerful, is the concept of notifications in WebOS. We call them unobtrusive notifications. When you do get a notification, we don't force you that you must interact with it right away or dismiss it or do something with it. We don't block the work you're doing. So let's say I was in this email, I'm typing away, a notification comes, it shows up. I don't have to leave. I can choose to ignore it and continue to work. I don't have to do anything. Or better yet, I can actually triage my notifications from here. Some of the notifications that I don't want to work on or just want to defer, I can get rid of them. And the ones that I want to go jump into, I can go jump into them. But with the multitasking that I've already showed you, I can go take care of that part of the activity and come back typing the email.